Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Angie. So happy to have you. It's a new year. 2019 has finally come to us. We are living it. And I'm here today to talk to you guys about New Year's resolutions. So I've always been like a fresh start kind of person. Like I love brand new school years, brand new years, brand new anything. Like,
wow, new office supplies. Oh my god, it's like heaven.
So for me, I try to always set like goals and ideas for what I want for the new year. Recently I read a bunch of articles. People shouldn't be setting New Year's resolutions, that it's a waste of time, and I just thought how untrue it spoke to me, so I thought I'd talk to you guys about it, because I feel like for me, New Year's resolutions, even if I don't accomplish them, as like they say in Pirates of the Caribbean,
or what you call guidelines than actual rules.
That's kind of how I look at New Year's resolutions, as guidelines and kind of like a direction, because it's hard to get to where you want to be without like going in a direction. There's that, because I always love quote Alice in Wonderland. There's the Alice in Wonderland quote where she's talking to the Cheshire Cat and she's like, where should I go? And he's like, where do you want to go? And she's like, I don't know. And then he's like, well, go wherever then. It's like that same idea that if you don't know where you want to go, then really you could go anywhere because you don't have the direction. So to end up where I want to get to, I always try to make some sort of goals, some sort of resolution. So I want to just go over with you guys first what has kept me in the past from really achieving my goals and what I did to fix that, and how last year was actually the first time I was able to achieve my resolutions and to become a better person and grow and all those beautiful things that we want for ourselves. So let's go. So these are my 5 tips for getting accomplished this year, what you want to get accomplished. First, I wanted to go over what our biggest problems are with resolutions, like why we don't actually accomplish them most of the time. The first one, number 1, realistic expectations. So a lot of times when we are trying to make big changes in our lives, we want them to happen overnight. And we use kind of like resolutions and a New Year's as an excuse to pretend like it's magic. When that 1st of January comes around, you expect for like the big month of January to see all these big changes because now you're working really hard, and it's just not like that. I'm optimistic, I've been told, to a fault, and so I just believe like everything can happen, and I still believe that, and I know everything is possible and everything can happen, but you just have to be like understanding of what you can and cannot do.
The only rules that really matter are these: what a man can do and what a man can't do.
So like, I want to continue traveling the world. Like that's one of my goals for my life. And it's not gonna happen tomorrow. Like I'm not gonna get on a plane tomorrow. It's just not what's going to happen. But by the end of the year, I do have a lot of big plans, and tomorrow is gonna be a step towards it. Focusing my life today by going to work, by kind of saving up money and not spending where I shouldn't, I will be able to get to my biggest goal of continuing to travel this year. So understanding that our expectations for ourselves have to be realistic. What can you do today that will put you a step forward for tomorrow? First started working out, another example for you guys. When I first started working out, I ran for 10 minutes, wanted to like jump off a cliff because it was so excruciating, and I did like 5 sit-ups, and I go, you know what, this is 10 minutes and 5 sit-ups that I didn't do yesterday. And so then the next time I went into the gym, I ran for 11 minutes, and I did like a little small routine workout for my abs. But like I would stop halfway through when I was like in pain, because I was like, you know what, like if I hate working out, I'm not gonna come back. I'm not gonna keep doing it. So I'm gonna do as much as I can today, and that'll set me up for tomorrow. That'll set me up for next week. That'll set me up for my goals, and that's what a manageable and realistic expectations for yourself should look like. It should be doing something that puts you forward. If you're like going to the gym, like working out really, really hard one day, and suddenly you're so sore you can't work out till next week, and then by next week you're like, well, now I just like don't want to because then I'm sore for another week. And like you have to see where you are mentally and physically in order to get the goals that you want. Push yourself a little today, not a lot today, but if you push yourself a little by little every single day, that's when we get to our big goals. That's how we actually achieve our New Year's resolutions. That's how we actually grow and become the person that we want to be. Second biggest problem that we face with New Year's resolutions is that we forget what our goals are. Like, we'll write it down on a piece of paper and just like forget about it 2 days later, 3 days later, while we're, doing the day-to-day. A big problem with being able to accomplish your goal is just being able to remember it, being able to keep it at the forefront of your mind every single day. So ultimately, what I ended up doing was putting together a bunch of Post-it notes. Also, sorry for the distracting Christmas decorations. It's still Christmas in my house for at least another 2 months, so you're just gonna have to roll with it. But I decided to put all of my New Year's resolutions this year on Post-it notes and start posting them around my house so that they're completely like in my face all the time, like kind of the same idea of like a dream board where it's always at the front of your mind, so that every day you're asking yourself, is what I'm doing right now bringing me closer or farther away from my New Year's resolutions or my new goals for my life? The biggest issue is gonna be kind of like contrary to the other two issues, but like this happens to the best of us. It really does. Oops, the wind just closed the door. Or the ghosts, or spirits. Okay, sorry, moving on. Okay, so the third biggest thing that kind of keeps us, the biggest problem that keeps us away from actually getting to our New Year's resolutions is feeling good and letting that be like the accomplishment. So what I mean by this, because it sounds like very contrary to what the whole thing is, but sometimes we feel like we have met our goals before we even actually reach them. Like sometimes we talk about it so much or like feel like we've done so much towards it that we're like, oh, well, we're there. And then we kind of just like let it go. And that's like how I have found myself self-sabotaging a lot of my New Year's resolutions, or in a lot of the goals that I've wanted to achieve for myself, that I have gotten to a point where I'm super happy about it, and then I just kind of like stop. I'm like, well, I've done quite a bit, proud of myself. And you should be happy for yourself, but you should also remember where it is that you want to be and not let yourself lose focus of what you actually want. Like, don't let that one little accomplishment overturn the biggest accomplishment that's coming if you stay true to your goals. I know that some people are the exact opposite, and where they don't know when it is to kind of like say, good job, you've come so far. And so it's always like a balance between the two and understanding that. Tip number 4, have fun, guys. If you made New Year's resolutions and you're not having fun with them, maybe they're not for you. Like, I last year had 2 major resolutions that didn't come true, and you want to know why? Well, it was a lot of things that kind of played into it, but the biggest thing was it didn't actually make me happy. It didn't make me excited. It honestly just stressed me out. It just felt like something I had to have done in this past year, and realized that was not actually, honestly, like looking at the list with these 2 things on it, part of that was just like things that I actually accomplished for myself, actually made me but everything grow else and on my list last year better. I was actually able to accomplish, like, which is I looked at the list and I was like, never happened to me before. On my list. Every single time that I worked towards it, it stressed me out. Every single time that I worked in that direction, I was just so unhappy. Halfway through that year, like after 6-7 months, I realized that it was just, maybe it was closer to 3 or 4. I don't know. Whatever. Make sure that the goals that you're after, if you're like making moves towards them and every time you work on them, it stresses you out, it doesn't bring you happiness, don't do it. Like, even working out, I know this is gonna sound really contrary to whatever, like working out I've really enjoyed it and it's been really beneficial to me, but like I wouldn't have been ready for it until like a couple months ago. Like before that time, it was something that made me like so upset even to think about. Like, the idea of going to the gym made me already tired. And so until it was a point in my life where I felt like I needed it for myself, like, don't put resolutions if it doesn't actually bring you joy and happiness and you're not having fun with it. Maybe your time to work out or accomplish that goal that you feel like everyone else is doing is not right now. And that's okay. Like, it can be a goal that you end up with later if it ends up being for you. But don't put something on your list that doesn't actually bring you joy and bring you a feeling of like wholeness. Like, you know what I mean? Like, make sure that you are doing the good things for you. Okay. So that's number 4. Number 5 has to do kind of with this last idea of having fun. Make sure that you are flexible with your resolutions. Make sure that it is not the end-all be-all. Make sure that you know that you are going to grow this year, that things are going to change you. There will be people that come into your life. There will be moments that come into your life that are going to have an impact on you and your decisions and the path of your life. And I mean, again, these are just guidelines. These are the direction that you want to take yourself in. But don't be so upset with yourself if it doesn't go that direction that you give up on resolutions. So much harder when you have no idea where you're going, because honestly, those have been the most difficult times of my life. It feels like nothing's working out because I didn't have a direction, because I didn't know which way I really wanted to go. And so even if good things had popped into my life, I wouldn't have really recognized it because I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't looking for anything. I was just kind of like, all the different places. Where can I just wake up and go to my next day? So just having a direction, I feel like for me, even if it's not the direction I'm gonna end up in, it's nice to just kind of have like a baseline, a guideline, to know where you are coming from and where you are wanting to go and why. A lot of times we also have to like look at our resolutions, know the reasons that you want them, know the reasons why you feel like this is a resolution that's going to change who you are and why you want to change yourself in that way. So flexibility is probably my biggest tip, because we've got to be patient with ourselves. Everything is just a growth. We're going to end up taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back multiple times in our lives, and we're going to end up learning from those 2 steps. We just have to be patient with the journey of our lives and enjoy what we have in that moment and enjoy the setbacks and the leaps forward and all the chutes and ladders that life brings to us. So that's my sappiness. I'm sorry. I'm just like going in circles and just like, I don't know, get emotional. You guys, I cried. I went to see Aquaman yesterday. Cried. Cried at Aquaman. I was like, this is so cute. And I think I'm like in the mood for like a big cry. I think that's gotta happen soon. Maybe I'll go like watch a really sad movie. Any suggestions? Maybe? I don't know. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I can't wait to bring more to you guys. Still, like always, figuring out a schedule that works for me. I will get you guys up and about it as soon as I can. Follow me on my socials, and if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. A thumbs. Give it a thumbs. Give it a thumbs. And also make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Love you guys so much. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye! Guys, I also pulled tarot for my 2019. It was so insane.